Hello everyone and welcome to my video on Opendoor and my Opendoor experience. This is the reason number 8 why I think Opendoor is better and why I decided to buy the stock. Of course, none of this is investment advice ever. Um, so one of the reasons that made me decide to buy the stock is the experience that I had with Open Door, dealing through an app, selling my old home and buying my new home with Open Door. This whole experience was just so good. It felt so good. It was very, very similar to the first time you buy on Amazon. My feelings towards Open Door are very similar to my feelings towards Amazon. These companies are time savers. They are money savers. They're just so efficient, so fast, and I was very very satisfied with both of my experience with Opendoor, selling and then buying. And obviously, I'm not the only one. If you read all of the reviews out there about Opendoor, but I just wanted to give you my perspective on my experience, how it went, because there's not that many of those on YouTube. And so if it's too detailed, feel free to not watch that video or feel free to go to the end. But hopefully that gives you an idea if you're investing in Opendoor as to how I felt the process went, and how good it was, really how good it was. So let me get started. So I switched jobs a year and a half ago. I was moving from one part of Texas to another part of Texas, both served by Opendoor, and I had to sell my former house and buy a new house. So the classic move that Americans have 7 times in their life. That classic move where you sell your main residence and you buy a new one. The classic. So I started both my search of a new home and my request for an offer at about the same time. I don't remember exactly, but it was about the same time. So the first thing I did was request an offer. So as I was searching on Opendoor for a home in the town I was moving to, I also was online requesting an offer for my current house where I was still living in. So I filled the online request form and received an instant range offer. It's the offer where they say, "Oh, we think your worth could be worth, between say, 220 and 240." That type of offer. So I received an instant offer. And the action item that you get once you get this offer is, you either close it or you say, yes, I'm interested. And if you say you're interested, they schedule for you a video walkthrough. So I had to coordinate with my schedule, and they scheduled a video walkthrough 3 days later. I picked a date 3 days later, and everything was so in sync with the app. Like I selected on the app, like I chose my slot on the app for that video walkthrough. And the video walkthrough took almost 45 minutes, and it was very advanced. I had to have my camera on. They had minimum requirement for your phone to have a high definition camera. And I had to go through every single room. I had to do 360 views of the ceiling, of the floor of every single room. They had me open cabinets. They had me open the electrical box. They really, really had me film everything, everything in the house. And as I was filming the agent, the Opendoor agent, who was doing a video walkthrough with me on my phone, she was asking me a bunch of questions about the house. So I could see that she was answering questions on their online form, in addition to all of the video that they were taking. So we did all of that, lasted about 45 minutes. And then she scheduled for me an outdoor inspection. The outdoor inspection took place the day later. They didn't want, of course, the outdoor inspector to be disturbed, so I didn't disturb the outdoor inspector, but I still was able to see him do an outdoor inspection of my home, and they checked the roof, they checked the street, they checked all of the standard stuff, very similar to what an insurance company would do when you try to insure with them for the first time. So they did all of these checks, and so I'm fairly confident they did a good job checking both the inside of my house and the outside of my house. Contrary to what a lot of people say online that I've probably never sold with Opendoor. No, I thought it was very, very, very extensive. Very extensive. Lots of questions, lots of pictures. I mean, they even had me take pictures of below each sink. Film my phone under each sink. They wanted to check everything under the sinks. I thought it was very interesting. They had me film, all of the light fixtures, like all sorts of stuff like that. So, anyways, um, After the outdoor inspector was finished, the total time, I just rechecked for this video, the total time between me requesting online and me getting an offer in hand was 9 days. A total of 9 days, regular days, not business days, 9 days, 9 full days. I thought it was really, really fast. So, what was the final offer prior to my move? What was the final offer? So it came right in the middle of their range. So again, I don't think they overpaid. I don't think they overpaid for my house. They had 5% selling fees, so a realtor would have charged me 6%, and they only charged me 5%, which I'm very happy, and that was their service fee. That's how they made money. And then another thing that was appealing to me is I had essentially a broken garage door. My garage door was dead, essentially, and I didn't have to repair it. They just quoted me with their vendor management system. They just removed it, and it was $1,600, and I didn't have to deal with anything. They did everything. They just repaired the door. I drove. I drove. I had the opportunity to drive past it again, and they just had repaired the door with a brand new door with one of their vendors. So I didn't have to go out and go shop for a garage door, and it was the main thing wrong. But I can only imagine what it would have been like if I had had like 5 or 6 main items to repair. Opendoor could have done this. It would have taken me forever to coordinate 6 contractors. I only had one item to repair, and I'm very, very happy of the way it worked. So I was very satisfied with the draft, the 5% fee, the offer price that they gave me right in the middle of the range, and the $1,600 for repair. I was very satisfied with the draft, and I accepted the draft. And 2 weeks later from that date is when I closed, and I closed at my new home. I closed at my new home about 2 weeks later. Exactly, actually, 2 weeks later, which is interesting. So before this process, I had started my search actually just about the time, but actually a little earlier. A little earlier, I had already started my search for my new home with them. So now I'm moving on from selling the house to actually buying the house. So I had started that a little bit before. And how did I go about buying my house on Opendoor.com? So started the process before requesting an offer on my own home. I can't remember exactly when I started, but it was at least 1 week before. And before that, there was another week of searching the home. So I went on the platform. It took me about a week on the platform to find a house that really had all the criteria that I wanted. I was looking in one of the biggest cities in Texas, so lots of options. And I requested a virtual tour of the house on a Sunday night. That's when I requested. And the software assigned me to a tour assistant for 6 p.m. On Monday. So 20 hours later. That was amazing. I actually arrived a little earlier for the tour, and I was able to see other houses, not just that one house. I was able to see other houses. And they were very, very flexible, and the tour assistant was very flexible and could add other homes that were close by. And it was a very hot market, right? Because it was still late 2020, so super hot market, and therefore 2021 actually, never mind, late 2021. So very, very, very hot market. Yeah, I was like, why did you say 2020? No, it was 2021. A very, very hot market, mid 2021, and I had to make the offer right after. So I made the offer that evening, right? And after I made the offer, I worked on the offer on Tuesday. So I made the offer that evening. They assigned me to an Opendoor agent who actually had notified by email, I assume, that an offer came. And then I worked on the formal offer on Tuesday with the Opendoor agent, right? And the Opendoor agent explained to me everything. They charged me, my Opendoor agent charged me a 2% fee, so that's why I actually saved 1% on that as well, because they only charged me, the Opendoor agent buyer's agent only charged me 2% instead of 3%. So I saved 1% on the sell and 1% on the buy. And actually decided to go a little under asking, 3% under asking, because of a cash buyer guarantee. Because when you buy with Opendoor, when you select a house with a self-serve option, you have the option to do the cash buyer guarantee, right? Okay, you put your earnest money at risk if it doesn't go through, but the difference is tremendous if it goes through. And it was very interesting because they attached a very formal add-on to my letter with a $100 million line of credit from a major bank. And I thought this was very, very impactful. Um, and that letter said, well, if this buyer, if his buyer's contingencies, such as getting the mortgage, if that doesn't go through, we Opendoor will buy the house in place of this buyer. And I think that was instrumental in getting my house because the market was very, very competitive back then. So I think that was instrumental. And again, closing went smoothly after um, after the sellers of the new house I was buying accepted. It went smoothly. It took about 3.5 weeks. Can't remember exactly, but about 3.5 weeks. And I closed on a Wednesday at a local title office here. And this is where the most amazing thing was, is since I had already agreed to sell my home to Opendoor a few weeks ago, I was able to coordinate. I was able to coordinate closing. So I was in a moving truck. I was literally in the moving truck, driving with all of my stuff from the one giant moving truck from the one house to the new house. Yeah, I closed with the moving truck. Um, Moved in on first day in the new house of the same week. So Wednesday you close on the new house. First day you move into the new house, and I closed with a notary that they sent at the new house on Friday. So as coordinated as it gets, like buy the new house, buy the new house buy the new house on a Wednesday, sell the old house on a Friday. So that's only 2 days difference. So I guess you could say I technically had two homes and two mortgages for 2 days, but that really doesn't matter. I mean, it's coordinated. It's highly coordinated, and it was very funny because, of course, I didn't have the house anymore. So I signed the sale of my old house in a house filled with filled with boxes up to the ceiling and a moving truck parked in the driveway. So that was really interesting to coordinate the cars and all that good stuff. But too many details here. The point is they were able to coordinate for me. And again, my mortgages on one house ended smoothly just in time for the mortgage on the new house to start. So I did not have this overlap period. I mean, I guess I had 2 days. I had 2 days of overlap. That was it. Thanks to the coordination, I didn't have to pay two mortgages in any single month. I didn't have to do that. If I had bought the new house first and then waited a few months for the old house to sell, I would have had mortgages for like 2 months or 3 months. He had taken 3 months. Worse, if I had to wait for my house to sell in my former town before even putting an offer for the new house, like what do you have to do? You have to rent. Yeah, you have to rent an apartment for like 3 months before you move. I mean, they really made it smooth. They really made it smooth for me. So again, this is what I say. Without Opendoor, who knows how long it would have taken to sell my old home, if it would have sold in time or not. Because even with this hot market, I sold a house 2 years ago, and it took about 5 months to sell that house because of buyer contingencies, because buyers just weren't getting the mortgage. So that can happen when you sell a house. You can sit on a house for months because buyers back out and don't get their mortgages because they have contingencies. Especially if you go with the FHA loans. There's a whole bunch of like more specific loans that are even pickier than just the conventional mortgages. So anyways, it's kind of a situation I was in. So it's very valuable to have the guarantee that the platform of real estate will buy your house. The Opendoor platform will buy your house. It's very valuable. So in conclusion, and I hope I wasn't too clumsy in explaining the whole process, and it's a little blurry in my head now because it was a year and a half ago, but I can tell you one thing that I distinctly remember is how satisfied I was with Opendoor the whole way. They had a single app, a single point of contact. My file, I had my login and my password, and everything was streamlined in a very, very easy process. Like all of the documents you sign on the app, there is minimal email. And when there's an email, it's just an email that's like a reminder, or that's an automated email from the app. Everything is done in the app. It's a seamless experience. I can tell you, it's very similar to when you buy a package on Amazon and it sends you a bunch of updates. Oh, your package arrived here. Your package was prepared. We're in this step. We're in this step. Except it's for real estate, so there's like more than 10 steps. But each step of the way, everything is digitalized, and I think that is very powerful. And I remember raving about it to anybody who would hear how much I was satisfied with both sides of the process, because I bought homes through the traditional process before, and the traditional process, I've had one good experience with the traditional process, and two, in my opinion, very poor experiences with the traditional process. And Opendoor being an app, I'm very confident that the app is not going to get worse. The app can only get better, because the app is the same all over, and the app can only get better. Um, and another point that I want to make is, if I were unsatisfied with the Opendoor offer, and a lot of people are saying right now, oh well, Opendoor is having higher spreads. Well, it's a good thing that they're having higher spreads, because the market is crashing, and I still think the offers would be fair. Opendoor shoots for a fair offer every time. But if I were for any reason unsatisfied with the Opendoor offer, when you offer to sell your house to Opendoor, if I was not satisfied with that offer, I would simply list it as an exclusive. I would try listing it as an exclusive for a 1% fee. The Opendoor exclusive platform is perhaps the next stage of development for Opendoor, and that's new, right? That didn't exist a year and a half ago. So that's a new process. I would be very excited to for trying Opendoor exclusives. That would be very exciting to me. I'd like to try that. Um, Anyways, Opendoor was great. Single point of contact, single app, Amazon-like experience on the front end, and then Uber-like experience on the back end. The whole idea that if you click a button and you book something, it will automatically match you with a tour assistant, and then it automatically matches you with a buyer's agent. I mean, that is very, very, very powerful stuff. So I really believe in this company. And again, I'm sorry. This is now I'm beginning to be a little bit blurry, because this was a year and a half ago. But I can tell you that if in a few years I have to move again, Opendoor will be my first choice, and I think it will be the first choice of anybody. Well, not anybody, but a lot of people, most people who've already dealt with Opendoor. So again, this is not investment advice, but thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed uh, my tale of this story of me buying with Opendoor. It's just a video review. So again, perhaps less tangible content here, but if you're interested in any specific part of the process, you can go back to this and see what I had to say. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter if you can. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye.